Let's talk about Shawn Michaels. Meltzer really had, for lack of a better word, a hard on for Shawn about never dropping belts. He would always complain that, oh, he's finding excuses to not do business and to drop the belt, not drop the belt. And he lost his smile in 97. And now here in the same building where he announced he lost his smile and forfeited the world title, he's just going to give the European title as a joke to his friend. And a lot of people, according to Meltzer, are upset about that. Now you're running talent relations at the time. Do you remember anybody complaining about Shawn being difficult to do business with when it comes to dropping titles?
I got complaints about Shawn from talents all the time.
Yeah,
pretty much on a daily basis. But the talents also knew that Shawn had such a connection with Vince that they could only push that issue so far. And then it runs into Vince's judgment call, and you're basically telling Vince you're making a huge mistake. You don't know what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, almost on a daily basis, it seemed like somebody had something to say. And I'm surprised that we didn't have more issues than we did, to be honest with you.
At this point, he had held 9 titles during his WWF tenure, and he had lost the belts in the ring twice. He lost his smile. He walked out after his fight with Bret. Him and Diesel just broke up. He quit while he was the IC champion. He got beat up in a bar. Over and over and over, there was an issue. And the issues keep coming, man, because the Lowell show was taped 2 weeks ahead of time. But in the meantime, you guys do a couple of house shows, one in Memphis and one in Little Rock. And there's a near riot in place in Memphis, and it's all because of Shawn Michaels. It's supposed to be DX, which is Hunter and Shawn, taking on Jerry Lawler and Jeff Jarrett, the hometown favorites here in Memphis. But it's the Little Rock show where an actual riot took place.
Uncalled for, embarrassing, uncalled for, and extremely bullshit. Minor league bullshit. They did it because they could. And for me, having my boyhood hero, Danny Hodge, who could whip both their asses in about 10 minutes or less, was there being honored to the fans that are there, because Hodge had been a major star in that territory forever. And he got me in the business. He got me hooked in the business as a fan.
Right.
And so, I loved the guy. And so when I heard all that happened and people were it was just getting abused, and it was just horrible. There's nothing good. Why would you do it?
Right.
Because you can. And we're attitudinal. It's the attitude era. You don't get it. It's a different generation. I heard the other day, I was listening to, I like listening to Busted Open. It's one of my favorite shows. I listen to it a lot around the house. And a caller called in and said, should Tony Khan use JR to help get a reconciliation from CM Punk and the Bucks, etc.? And Tommy Dreamer said it would never work because JR's from a different generation, which happens to be one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard Tommy say. And I like Tommy. I've hired Tommy. He's a lifer. So I'm not mad at Tommy. I'm just shocked that he would say something so ridiculous. Human nature doesn't have a generational timeline. It just doesn't. Management is management. Communication is communication. I've probably talked more about communication in the term communication on this podcast than anybody in your ad-free network.
Yeah.
Communication is a key to marriage, dating, business. You got to communicate. And so it kind of bothered me that it's thought of that, well, because I'm older, it's not, my generation wouldn't understand how to address those issues, which I totally say bullshit too. So, but that's off topic, but nonetheless, it's just the way I feel. It's popped in my head. So there you go. That's a good headline for you guys looking for something on your websites.